everyone. My name is Cecil, and I'm a developer advocate at Stripe. And we're here at the Caribbean Developers Conference talking to different founders and developers about some of the cool projects that they're working on. So my friend Jose here has a really interesting project and company that I want to hear a lot about. So Jose, why don't you start off with telling folks who you are and a little bit about what you do?
Sure. My name is Jose Laureano. I'm the founder of Laboratio. We are a software developer company, and we provide augmentation services for technology. And as well, we build our own products. One of them is Pavira, our latest product.
So you said you're a software developer company. Is this your own company that you founded yourself?
Yes, my wife and I, we founded Laboratio in 2017 to provide services in the United States.
Okay. So what was the motivation for you to start your own company?
Yes, so being in technology for about 20 years, I found that there is a need for high quality resourcing on the spot. The hiring market in technology is very hard to onboard quality personnel, right? It takes a long time being able to find that talent, right? That is able to work with the business and understand what the business does, right? So that's in the area that we provide our services to bring a developer resource to your business that has worked before with the team that we have around it. So it's not a foreign person to your projects or your needs, right? Understand your technology stack and moreover understands your business, right? So that's where the value proposition comes in. And I say, well, there's market for that, right? So think about engagements that are not necessarily long-term projects, but more short base or seasonal base, right? Like for example, December, everybody takes vacation, right? And you want to keep the output, right, of your work. So that's where we are offering services at that stage.
Okay, so you have your own company. And I also want to believe like a lot of your developers, like you were telling me before, are from here in the Dominican Republic, right? So you have a lot of software engineers, I'm guessing, different folks that are building systems that are sourced locally.
That is correct, that is correct. So we're based in the United States, in the city of Tampa in Florida.
Okay.
But the majority of our development staff is here in the Dominican Republic. And that is the reason why we're here at CDC together with the team, right? Making sure that they have exposure to the latest of the latest, greatest speakers that are here at CDC and the newest technologies, and as well being part of the technology community overall, right? Which is a, I would say, global community, but here in the Caribbean is being, I would say, pioneered by CDC.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think one of the biggest things that any developer that can do, any engineer could do, is be a part of some type of community.
That is correct.
Be around like-minded folks, companies, engineers, designers, whatever the case is, that are in that same space so that you get, motivation, you get inspiration, you get new ideas and thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you learn some new things as well because, you don't know what you don't know, right?
That is correct.
And it's only through us sharing information together we're able to do that.
Yeah, and the technology landscape is an ever-changing landscape. Like if you think you know something, 2 years, 3 years from now, you might be outdated. So you always have to keep your channels open, right? What's new, always updating yourself. And these are settings that allow us to have that, right? That experience of being in the know, number one, right? And building relationships with other people, right? That, propel you into either your next career or your next project, right? Or the next stage of your life, probably, right? If things go well. So I think it's a very needed experience, I will say.
I'm curious to hear, because you have a US-based company.
Yes.
And a lot of your developers are here in the Dominican Republic.
Correct.
Like what's the motivation for you having, a significant part of your workforce here in this country?
Yes. So I'm a native Dominican. I was born here in the Dominican, born and raised. I went to college here in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And when I founded Laboratio, our motto is help people to technology innovation, right? So the helping people is not only our clients, right? It's also the people that work with us and the community at large here in the Dominican Republic, right? So knowing the sector and knowing that it is a source of income for many of the guys here, right? Because we're bringing jobs into the area, into the community, right? bringing experiences that they might not have in the local market, right? Working with other companies that have a global footprint, right? That helps them out, right? Increasing their vision and increasing the amount of technology and the cutting edge of technology that they use, right? Because they're right there where the action is happening. So thinking about my country, thinking about the population here is like, how can I help drive technology further, adoption, or just technology overall, right? The people that work with that they don't stay behind working on legacy systems, right? And that they can be competitive in the global market, right? So thinking about that need, right? So helping people through technology innovation, right? We decided to say, no, we're gonna make an investment, because sometimes having remote developers is not like having them face to face, right? And the challenges that come with that as well, right? Of being able to connect. So that's why most of the clients that we have, right, and most of the projects that we work on are East Coast or Central Time, right? So that way there's no that gap in time zones, right, that might disrupt, right, the communications, cadences and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
But I always think about my country, and how can I help, the people that are here succeed on their personal lives or their professional lives, right? Always trying to help the community, and at the end of the day, helping our clients as well, right? Because I do believe that when you insert the helping mindset into your company's culture, you're gonna have a better product to your clients.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And like the example that you're setting, your employees are going to look at that and be like, maybe one day, 5-10 years from now, maybe, I'm going to start my own company.
That is correct.
But then now you've given me the blueprints.
That is correct.
Because one of the things I think is really important is not just that, we educate ourselves, but also we share that information, and we share not only like the technical education, but also the know of how to start businesses, and have employees, and do payroll, and taxes, like all the other things that we don't really think about a lot of.
That is correct.
Like how do I have a business, and how do I use the skills I have in that business and learn additional skills too, to not only expand your level of influence, but then also empower the people that like from your country, from your home, you know what I mean, like the folks that are important to you, and give them the tools that they need, that they could also move forward in life.
That is correct. That is correct. So true. I am a big believer that in the fact that success is unlimited. Right? And I want the people that interface with me either through partnerships or through direct employment to see that they have somebody that they can be of help to them, helping people. We're going back to helping people, right?
Sure.
So either that be we participate together in a project, we partner in a project, you're working with us, right, as an employee of the company, that you can see yourself as well where we are, right? Because the market is large, right? There's thousands of opportunities over there, and you cannot do everything by yourself. You need people. You need, other friends to come around you, right, and help you out, right? So, in that, mindset, right, we always try to elevate people, right, from where they are, and let them know you can do better.
That's amazing, man. I love it. So why don't we talk about one of your projects that you have?
Yes.
Like, so you're telling me that you have an app that's launching really, really soon.
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about what it is and what does it do? And
Sure.
Like
what are we asking? Yeah. The name of the platform is Pavira. Pavira is a platform for valet parking services that connects the valet parking company with the client in a seamless way.
Okay.
One day, I was with my wife at a fancy restaurant, right? I wanted to impress her.
Of course,
everything,
as you
right?
should. As you should,
right? And then we're about to go out of the restaurant, and I asked her before going out of the doors, did you bring the cash to tip the valet guy? And she looked at me and she said, did you bring the cash to tip the valet guy? And then I replied, no, did you bring the cash to tip the valet guy? So neither of us had cash to give the guy. And we ended up not tipping the person. And we felt bad about that experience, right? It kind of left like a sour feeling, right, with that. So on our way, we're thinking about it. I say, like, let me see if this is a common problem across. It happened to me, might probably happen to other people. And indeed, I reach out to some of my friends, colleagues, and say, hey, have you ever had this situation happen to you? And they say, oh, all the time. And I hate it, right?
Yeah.
It's the same
Because
feeling.
you feel bad, right?
You feel bad, of
Because you
course.
want to, but then I also feel like we're in a world that a lot of folks don't always have cash.
That is correct.
Right? Like they pay by phone or they use Zelle or Cash App or some other way of transferring money digitally.
Digital.
So that I don't have to walk around with like wads of paper
Exactly.
in my pocket.
That is correct. So not only that you don't have cash, you might have the wrong amount of cash. Probably you're carrying a large amount bill and you just want to give $20 or $15.
And you don't have change,
and you don't have change,
break it
right?
into smaller bills.
So immediately that introduces friction into the transaction, right? So that's where we say, okay, we're identifying a problem. Let's provide a solution to it, right? So Pavira is the platform, right, that we're launching now in the month of November, nationwide in the United States.
Okay.
Right? And then is able to allow the transaction to be smooth from the time that you arrive with your car, right? You receive a ticket that has a QR code. The client doesn't need to download any app. They just download, they just scan the QR code and it's a personalized page only for them, right? Where they can transact, right? And recall their car whenever they, let's say you are 30 minutes out, you say, I want to have my car ready. 30 minutes out now, you don't have to wait in line to get your car once you are, let's say, at the restaurant. And also you can provide a tip, right, to the person using your mobile wallets. We're at an inflection point right now. As you say, people are not carrying cash any longer, but now the adoption of digital wallets on their phone is growing exponentially, right?
Sure.
So it's like an inflection point to say, we don't have cash, but we have mobile wallets, right? And that is where the platform, right, comes into place to be able to provide a seamless experience and very easy just to say, I want to tip $10, $15, right? The application, the platform Pavira also provides the profile of the valet parking person. Think about this, you know.
So then they can have like a rating?
Like a rated, exactly. But not only that, they have a short bio where the parker can say, hey, I'm studying computer sciences at USF, right?
Sure.
Talk a little bit about them as well.
Yeah.
So the client can connect to that person.
That makes sense.
Right now, you just get your ticket from the valet guy and you walk away.
And you don't know who that person is.
And you don't know who that
or
person
what they're
is.
doing.
Exactly.
But
right?
you're trusting it with the keys to your car.
Yes.
You might want to know a little bit about the
A little
individual
bit,
that
yeah.
you're sharing that with.
That is correct. But it provides a way to make the person a person.
Yeah.
Right?
I like
And
that.
as well, you won't believe it, but only about 10% of valet parkers get tipped.
Really?
Only 10%.
That is surprising.
That is surprising.
That's
But
first-
there are many factors to that. One of the factors is they allow people having cash or the right amount of cash,
Sure.
or the friction of the transaction itself, right?
Yeah.
So with this
That's true.
idea, we're trying to reduce that friction, right? So that we can increase the amount of tips the valet personnel receives, right? Which most of them depend on that income actually, right?
Sure.
So we help that, helping people. We're going back to helping people through technology innovation. And
So
that's
kind of
the
like what
reason.
you're saying is like since a lot of them don't get tipped, but then a lot of them might be students or working multiple jobs or
That is correct.
they might have whatever their unique situation is, you know, they need this for, you know, their livelihood and to take care of themselves and
That
pay
is correct.
bills and on all these types of things.
That is correct.
Similar to folks that are waiters or Uber drivers or whatever the case is, right? Like you need this income. And so being able to tip these folks in a frictionless way or a less frictional way.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It just makes it a lot easier for us to be able to support those workers. as
Yes.
They're doing their jobs.
Yes, yes. And remember, it all started with me feeling bad that I couldn't tip the guy.
Yeah.
You know, that really rocked me all the way home.
So I love how like your company has been built on emotion.
Yes.
Because you felt bad, so you built an app.
Yes.
So you won't feel bad anymore. That's what you're saying.
That
right?
is correct. That is correct. Yeah, there is an emotional part about technology as well that sometimes, because we use our phones and on a daily basis, right? We think that it's there just because it's there, but there is a reason behind all this innovation, right?
Sure.
And if it doesn't help you, if it doesn't help your fellow partner, if it doesn't help your community, right?
Yeah, then what's the point?
What's the point of it, right? So
Yeah.
that's why we always try to put that lens in front of us, right? How are we helping
Each other.
through technology? Is this worth the squeeze? And there's sometimes that there are platforms and technologies that not necessarily the benefit is financial benefit, but there might be a very big impact socially on your community, right? Or being able to improve the lives of people that necessarily you're not getting revenue from it, but it's still worth the cost because of the type and the amount of people that you're helping out.
Yeah, I completely understand. Because again, like we don't know what happens with people when they leave work.
That's
right?
correct.
Everyone has a different life and everyone has different things that they have to work through and deal with.
Yes.
And so the least that we could do is one, be polite and be nice to people.
Of course.
But then also too, like we can help support them, if we can afford to do so, giving them tips and helping out in some different ways.
That
So
is correct.
I completely believe in that.
That is correct.
So now you founding this company on emotion,
yes.
right? Again, like you want to make yourself not feel bad, but also you want to make the folks that are parking your car, like
Yes.
the valet folks, feel good as well.
That is
To
correct.
let you know that, hey, you know what, I appreciate what you do for me. It's like saying, like your app should be called like thank you. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying thank you
Yes.
because you've taken care of my car, you've given me the service.
Okay.
What are some of the other things that you had to work through as you had to start up your company?
Yes. So specifically for the app Pavira, right? We had to work through a lot of items in regards to payment processing, right? Which Stripe helped greatly with it.
That's
because we can manage the end-to-end processing of the payment through Stripe, right? As well, a cloud environment we are running on AWS, right? The application is built using the Ionic framework,
Okay.
which provides us, one code base for both Android
And iOS.
iOS as well, right? We're using AngularJS as our main front-end languages, and then we are using a Spring Boot with Java
Oh, for your backend?
for backend and APIs.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's basically our stack. We're running MySQL databases with Aurora, AWS Aurora
In the
service
cloud.
in the
Yeah.
cloud. Everything's on the cloud, right? So all these pieces are interconnected to each other, right? And kind of Stripe, connects to all of them, right? From the back end, right?
To the front end.
To the front end as well, right? Because the presentation that we give to the clients, to the end clients for the tipping, right? That connects to their mobile wallets is through Stripe, right? The accounting piece on the back end, right?
And then you can get the reporting,
all
fraud
of that.
detection, and all this other stuff too. That I'm
Exactly.
sure is very helpful. For
Exactly. The connection with the accounts to pay out, right? The parkers as well, is directly through Stripe, right?
Yeah.
So the whole ecosystem, although there are multiple technologies working together, different systems, right? AWS cloud, databases, connections, front-end mobile applications, right?
Yeah.
There's a fingerprint of Stripe somewhere, in
That's awesome.
in the whole architecture. So I'm very thankful, for a platform like Stripe, that provides, the Stripe elements, for example, very easy to integrate within the workflow. Very easy as well to onboard your personnel. Beautiful documentation, I will say, pristine, you can always trust that, the documentation is always kept up to date, right? So I can just say to one of the developers that might be new to the product, right? Say, just go and read the documentation about this, and this, right? And they will need minimal guidance to be able to be onboarded to work on the product, right? Because whenever you have a product that is publicly available, right, you need to iterate really fast, right?
And
really
the
fast.
documentation and the samples, all that is really important.
It's really important, right? Because you're taking a product from POC into kind of beta and then into production level, right? And things change, right? You don't design the right piece of software right out of the gate. So you really need something that is scalable, flexible,
Frictionless.
Think about it. Think about it. The frictionless component is what makes the platform suitable for the system. Valet parking is something that you do really quick.
Yeah.
Imagine that like it's raining and you want to get out quick, right? So just the nature of the business requires frictionless transactions, right? So that's I believe Stripe has done an amazing job, doing that. So thank you.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you're a customer, and I hope you continue to be a customer.
Yes.
And and then anytime there's anything that you need help with or anything like that, feel free to reach out to us and let us know. If you're having any issues or any problems.
Yeah.
We have Discord channels and
Yeah.
social things and all kinds of stuff that you can connect to us on.
I have actually already spoken with many people at Stripe, through either the ticket system, the knowledge management system.
Okay, that's
right. They're very responsive, right, to our inquiries, which we have had, right, for several topics like connect accounts, and stuff like that. Well, we have been integrating. So it's not that we reach like an endpoint, like an end street without not exit, right?
Yeah.
You always have, somewhere where you can get guidance, either through the documentation, the live support systems, the partnerships, right? The partners that help your account and stuff like that. So we have felt happy. We did our market analysis, and there's nothing like Stripe out there. I'll tell you that.
I'm glad you love it, man.
Well,
you know what? I want to say thank you so much, man. Thank you for talking with me, and thank you for being a customer.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming to CDC and helping out the community in the Caribbean. So we're very glad to have you guys here.
Yeah, we're very glad to be here, and we're very glad for all of you that have watched this video. Thank you so much for checking this out, and stay tuned because we'll have a lot more videos from the Caribbean Developers Conference.